Welcome to the gentleman's panel, and welcome to Cap Hill, of course, the greatest place to be with my state reps. I'm not testing your deliverance tonight, but tonight is the gentleman's panel, and definitely, as always, we're here to deliver you a great show. And so let's get started with, of course, the executive producer of the gentleman's panel, no other than.
What's up, captivated Christian? And what's up, Hill? I'm doing well. Shout out to all the Rider Lives out there. Love you.
All right. And then, of course, being seniority, the second oldest person in the group. All the way from the tribe of the sun. Here we are.
Hey. Too cute, too soon. Too cute, too soon. What's up, y'all?
Naturally.
Hey, Sun Tribe, Rebel Sun here. What's up, y'all? Ready to have a good time tonight?
All right. And without further ado, it wouldn't be a situation without the lituation, Mr. Official King.
Okay. Period to the period. It's the Official King Pain, all the way from the home of the lituation.
All right. And going from the home of the lituation to the home of Consciousville, we have none other than Conscious TV.
Hello. Nice to be here again for the billionth time. I always enjoy these things, so I'm excited tonight.
All right. Now we have some extra special guests tonight. My first guest is, of course, my little brother, closest friend, Antonio, to join the panel once again.
What's up, Antonio? You done got short hair.
Yes.
Yeah. The Rocks had to go. It's too hot in Florida. Yeah, they had to go.
Whatever. Somebody don't have patience, but that's okay. I'm all right. And last but not least, my second guest is actually my relative. We've grown up together for a very long time, so it was nice to actually get in contact with him and invite him to share his perspective. None other than my cousin Yamik.
Hey, everyone. Nice to see you guys.
What's up, Yamik?
All right,
gentlemen. So can I just ask a question right off the bat?
Sure, yes, you can.
Okay, so your cousin and your brother, they're both gay men? Or?
No, well, Antonio's like my little brother, kind of like play brother. We since I've been in Maryland, we've been friends. So
it's been almost 10 years or so, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been
a while.
Because I was gonna just, how fortunate to have, just all these gay relatives. Like,
well, I'm like blood cousin, by the way.
Yeah, I do have other, gay relatives in my family. I do, but Yamik is my actual cousin, and Antonio, he's like a brother to me. So, it is what it is. But, all right. So, gentlemen, it's a lot of us. So, real quick, before we get really into the gist of the gist, how's everybody week's going? Well, a little traumatic. How's it going? How about you, King Payne, being in California with all that fire raging in your back door and not
there's been a lot of smoke, but everything is just I'm not near the smoke, but we can see the smoke. But where I'm at, like, a lot of people wasn't wearing face masks, so now because of the smoke, everybody's wearing face masks now, and they're like even enforcing it at the stores. So I feel like there's some good in it as well, because they needed to have them face masks going out here, okay, on period.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. How about you, Antonio?
My week is going good. It's like I said, it's hot in Florida. This week was really hot. It was a really hot week, and we had some storming going on. But beyond that, it's good. I'm enjoying working from home. I'm loving it.
Cool. And how about you, Mr. Wilson?
Well, it is cold in San Antonio. The temperature dropped like to 50 degrees.
Wow.
So it's really kind of chilly for here, but we did need the rain, so we got that. I am not working from home anymore. I'm actually in the office, and wow. So I enjoy being home and being able to get to the computer and take naps. That's not happening anymore. so but it's a blessing to have employment at this particular point because so many people don't.
Okay. And how about you, Rebel Son? What's going on with you this week?
Oh, it's been pretty much just like last week with this whole pandemic going on. We've rearranged schedules more so at work. It was raining here in Houston. It's been raining on and off. It's been a little up and down. That's basically it. I'm invited to a party this weekend on a boat, and I'm kind of hesitant, but I will be attending that. But yeah, that's it for the week.
All right. And
how about the street? Is there a street light somewhere?
I'm in Midtown Manhattan, so you hear Midtown traffic. That's what you hear.
That's what it is.
So how's your week been, cuz? What's going on?
It's been good. Didn't this week go by so fast? It's Thursday already. Like, it's so quick. So, I mean, it's been nice in New York.
Okay.
Hey, just.
Cool.
Yeah, it was flashing in and out. I saw them in the chat. They were saying that it was kind of like blinking on and off the screen. On my cell phone, it was doing that, but not on the laptop. Someone was asking that in the chat.
Okay. And how about you, Conscious? How's your week been?
My week is a blessing, aside from the fact that I had to cut a $5,130 check. I wasn't too excited about that, but whatever needs to happen. But lovely week, nonetheless.
All right. You said what?
You got it over with. So
you cut me some of that stimulus. Okay.
I wish it was a stimulus.
It wasn't no stimulus. I tell you what.
Need a stimulus to cut.
The Senate is still dragging their feet. So, all right. So today's theme for the gentlemen's panel is love, craft, and country. Now, we all know, well, some of us know that Love, Craft, Country is a show on HBO Max. It's a great show. So if you have time, check it out. But I decided to kind of take that and kind of draw my questions from that. So my first question deals with, of course, love. All right. So dating in or around the age of 30, 40, or wherever you fall in the bracket. Okay. Ain't calling nobody's ages out. What does that look like to you, and how do you navigate through that? Not only in the Black community, but in the Black gay community, LGBT, alphabet soup, all that, dealing with kind of situations in which, are surprising. So, and, whatever situation that may be, I'm not, medical or mental, in dealing with that. How have you grown to handle that? Let's start with the youngest in the group. So let's start.
Okay, so I think that I
Antonio.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm actually not even 30 yet. I'll be 30 next month. So
well, I'm 21.
Oh, really? I'm 19.
Oh, okay.
But as I've gotten older, I've realized that, of course, when dating, things have changed. Whereas when I was younger, it was all about looks and, them afternoon quickies. But as you get older, you realize you want someone who's going to grow with you, who can actually bring something to the table. It's no longer just about sex. It's now about establishing something. Like, okay, I do this, I have this, I can do this. What do you bring? And are my goals in line with yours? Is this something we can do together? It's as you get older, you realize that relationships are not just, again, about sex. It's about a partnership. You're pretty much growing a business with another person. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's kind of how you got to look at it. Seriously, these are my assets. These are your assets. Let's put our assets together. Let's get a house. Let's build a ranch. Let's do something. You're trying to expand as you get older. And, to the second part where you said where things pop up, physical, mental, things like that. on the mental aspect of it, you know, you go on a date with someone and they tell you they suffer with bipolar depression or something like that. You really have to think about internally, am I in a decent mind space to be supportive?
Hey, somebody got a window. I'm sorry, Antonio. Somebody have a window open because there's kind of a lot of feedback coming back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about earlier. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to think, am I in that mental?
Everybody, hold on. Just everybody mute yourself. I'll pause you a minute. Everybody just mute yourself until Antonio's finished, and then when I go next, whoever I pick next, just unmute yourself, please.
You have to ask yourself, are you in that mental space to be supportive of someone like that, someone going through something? Because, you know, sometimes we think we are, and then you're with that person and something happens and you're like, I don't think I want to do this. So, you know, as you get older, there's a lot more to consider than, again, just sex and looks, which is the main thing that we focus on when we're younger. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, no, it was good. Thank you. And you was actually in time. So that's great. All right, Rebel. What are your thoughts on that?
You're muted, Rebel.
Right.
Oh my God, he's giving me dizzy.
Oh, girl, slow down. She just want to talk so bad. Listen, the thing is, I think there's a lot of, listen, you can smoke whatever you smoke. That's good. I don't do a lot of the stuff that people that I've been meeting tend to do. So it's kind of weird when they meet me because it's like, well, you don't do that. You don't do this. Then a lot of these guys that have used their looks forever, when they start getting in the early 30s and 40s, you're not the newest little thing on the scene anymore. So if you've had your looks to get you by, you slept on someone's couch at 19 and 20, it's not cute at 40, 45. So I've met these guys that have been like, you know, I'm going through something right now. How the hell are you going through something the last 5 years? You're at your mom's house. You don't have a car. You're barely working to make ends meet. I think that now my whole attention is more so on someone that's more stable, someone that can bring something to the table, someone that has some type of goals and some type of a game plan. I don't like guys too much younger. I prefer dating older guys because the younger guys are looking for sponsors a lot of times. And these older men are looking for these guys, these 50-year-old men. No offense, Jay Wilson. They're looking for these younger guys to date. And a lot of times they become like sugar daddies. And I've witnessed that. I want someone that's going to bring something to the table and just not all the physical things that go out the door really quick. Because you can't show me a big piece and pay my light bill.
Interesting.
A piece of what?
Whatever.
Was that okay? Is that all?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Yami. How do you feel about that? What is your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Antonio said and what Rebel Sun said. Like, you gotta want more at a certain age. Like when you're 20, that shit is cute. You wanna have a little hookups, a little do this, do that. You smoke it. But at a certain age, like I'll be 36 in November, which would be in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like I want more. Like you gotta have your shit. You got your own apartment. I gotta have mine. You gotta have whatever you're doing. It gotta be separate, but together. It gotta be whole. You know what I mean? Like it can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna be with you, and whatever you got, I'm gonna have. No. You gotta have your own, and you come to me whole. That's what I want. I don't want no 50-50 thing. You gotta be 100, and we come together with 200. Like that's what it's gonna be. Not no half. No, come to me whole, please.
Right. Yeah, I definitely get that. And how about you, Conscious?
Well, first of all, I'm 34 and I'm very proud because God isn't even allowing some of these people to live past 15 years of age. So every year that I get, I take much pride in it. Yeah. Dating over 30 is very interesting as it relates to navigating mental health for one. My twin flame, who was the man that I married and then divorced, suffered from a lot of mental health issues, psychosis, depression. And he also was addicted to drugs. So there was a lot going on in one God-given situation, and I was extremely unprepared for a lot of those issues. Mental health doesn't necessarily disqualify you as a candidate for romance. I don't have a discrimination against that as long as the person is very adamant about their mental health. Also, I think that mental health is something that really we all suffer from. Anybody who takes more of a religious stance or has a more of a religious worldview, even when it comes to sin, I interpret sin as the fact that we all suffer from mental health in one way or another. Sin to me is just simply egotism, and we all have our drug. For a lot of YouTubers, that would be addicted to attention. For other people, it might be cocaine, crack. For other people, it could be food. It might be spending money. It might be gluttony. There's lots of different things that we don't necessarily label as symptoms of mental health that actually are interrelated to mental health and poor emotional health. So as far as I'm concerned, the world is filled with people who suffer from mental health. As long as people are just in the proper treatment, taking their medication and seeking the necessary help, and as our guest just said, people coming whole. I did not have that standard for myself in my own dating life in my 20s. As long as the chemistry was popping and the attraction was there, pretty much we made it work until it couldn't work. Now at 30, obviously I have a lot more to lose, and I can't date liabilities, and that liability is completely eradicated when people are self-loving.
Right. No, we gotta.
Excuse me. I didn't hear a bell ring. I didn't hear a whistle blow.
I'm sorry. You want to hear something?
So let me rock. Let me rock my 2 minutes.
You want to hear? I'm sorry. You want to hear something? I'm sorry. I had my phone on silent because I didn't want it to, but I was counting. But anyway, go ahead. Continue your thought. Finish your thought.
I don't even know where I was.
Okay.
Hold on. But I will add this. At 30, I think that is very important. I started praying to God to help me to fall in love with qualities. Right. So I'm at a point in my life now where I'm trying to be more stimulated by character and not so much by physicality, which I think impacts people more than what they think in terms of dating. So I think just actually being attracted to loving qualities, being attracted to being treated right, even having more value over the way you're treated and someone's integrity than physicality, than whether they have a certain level of independence. Very important over the age of 30.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. How about you, King Payne? Your thoughts?
Okay, on period. Finally. Okay, I was waiting for y'all to get to me. Okay, on period. Yes. So I just feel like we all want the same thing. Okay, we do. We want somebody that's gonna treat us good. Okay, we want a good teammate. I don't know what these other men just talked about, but you looking good is still a requirement on my list. Okay, yes, that's not the only requirement anymore. Okay. That's not the only requirement anymore, but it's still on the list. Okay, I'm not interested in the ugly. Okay, on period. But dating for me, I a lot of these men I realize just aren't even worth it. Okay, I figure you just gotta stop looking for love, and that's when it's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Or it's been staring you in front of your face the whole time. I'm at the point where I'm done with searching. I'm done with the dating apps. You know what I'm saying? If there's someone out there for me, he better come knock on my door, because I'm focusing on the bag. Okay? And it is what it is. As far as mental health, I feel like, I'm the right one, okay, on period. Periana to the period. Like, girl, once you get a taste of this, baby girl, you'll be okay. Okay, on period. Mental health, what? Okay, on period. I got that medicine for you right over here, okay?
Right.
Yes. You wouldn't even need no medication or none of that no more. You be done with all the shenanigans. Periana to the period. Okay, I come change your whole life, baby boy. Okay, yes, but Yes, dating for me, I'm single, okay. What you say, dating in your 20s? Yes, we dated in our 20s. And dating in my 20s, it's been, it's been cool, you know what I'm saying? Like I have options, but none of these options, I just don't feel a connection. Like they don't have the same ideals on life, the same aspect. Like they're in a different page. Like my mindset is just so it's out there, and I think outside the box, and I never say I can't. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I don't know where they get this I can't mindset from, or that's too big, or I can't obtain it. But I never feel like that. I always just feel like, you know what I'm saying? What's for me is for me. On period. Right. That's why I'm not even looking for love no more. Okay, on period. Because you know what I'm saying? The men that's out there for me, okay, on period, they're gonna pull up.
Right.
Damn, that's a long 2 minutes. Okay, on period.
No. Only because I was giving you extra because I didn't press the button. So it's fine. Jay Wilson.
Okay, for the human pharmacist. But you know, I have a saying. You can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. Love don't come easy when it's a game of love and take and give and take. So at the end of the day, enjoy yourself. Be who you are. And if somebody loves you, they're gonna love you for who you are. You're gonna love them for who they are. Right. If somebody has some issues, if they are on top of those things, if they're doing what they need to do, they're going to take care of you. They want the relationship to last. Right. And it doesn't matter. I've been in relationships and I have been single for 5 years up until now. So, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. And when it happens, it happens. Let it happen organically and don't manufacture it, because when you manufacture it, you're going to have a problem. When it's organic, then it's going to work out exactly how it's supposed to work out.
Right. I agree with that. Before I say that, thank you so much, Virginia Redbone, for the super chat. Appreciate it as always. Thank you. The dollar will go far. I agree with you all. Like a little bit of everybody, I agree with everything. I think you definitely should be whole, and the person, your partner that you come with should be whole as well. And you get a certain age, of course, you want more in life. You want to be established as well as have someone who is established and establish something greater. I always look at it as two kingdoms coming together, or queendoms, whatever you into, and creating an empire. And that's the way it should be. That's just how I look at it. So, all right, moving on to the next. Once I get my stuff up, there we go. All right, so.
That's what she said.
That's what they all say. But that's okay, because I do the more sticking. So anyway, second part. How might we the over-identification of sexual positions limit success in long-term relationships? Success or experience in long-term relationships? And I'll start with you, Jay Wilson.
What do you mean by positions? Like
sexual positions, top, bottom. Okay, let me educate you for a moment. All right. So sexual positions dealing in LGBT alphabet soup stuff is like top, verse, and bottom. So normally you get in a relationship, there's one that may be one that may be other, or you both may be the same. And how does that translate in a long-term relationship? You know, like you being a top and Mark probably being whatever Mark is. And then long-term, do you think about switching?
I think you know, that's a little personal. But anyway, I don't think it will mess up your relationship. I don't think it's going to
just answer the question without getting personal.
I'm just saying, I'm getting ready to answer the question. Oh my God, you're pushing. I'm trying to beat your 2-minute limit. So anyway, I just think that whatever people like in far as positions, what they like. And my thing is You talk about those things before you get in a relationship, and some people like what they like, you know, and that's it. So I don't think it's a problem if one person doesn't like one thing and the other person does. Then either it's going to be a compromise or you won't be together. So that's my thought on it, and yeah, that's my thought on it. It depends on the person, you know. I think some people get caught up in, you know, I don't know. I've never had that issue. I've never had that issue. And yeah, I've never had that issue. Is anybody coming in the door?
Yeah.
Is somebody coming in? Is that the go?
Please.
I'm sorry, I thought I was on mute. They got some construction or some shit going on over here. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Ignore all of that. Ignore all of that. I thought I was on
But like I said,
I'm
okay. Is that Leroy trying to come in? All right.
Somebody get the door. The pizza's here.
But that's my thought. I don't. It depends on the person. It depends. If now, I will give an example where I dealt with someone, you know, in my earlier years, and we both like the same thing. It did not work out. It did not work out. He wasn't compromising. I wasn't compromising. We loved each other, but it just didn't work out.
Oh, okay. Was that the sword fighting guy from last week?
Yep, the same one. I mean, I've only had 5 that I can count.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Yannick, how about you?
Well, I actually have a personal experience. Like, I was dating someone, and we started off. It was a verse relationship, but I was verse top, and they were going to be the verse bottom. That's how it started off. But midway through, they decided that they wanted to be the more top in the situation. And, you know, I think it's an unspoken gay rule. Like, if your thing ain't bigger than mine, you ain't climbing my bag. Like, you gotta be equal. Like, you cannot be coming here with this, and I got this. You coming with this, and thinking you're gonna be the full top. Oh,
when did this rule come about?
You said you was coming with what again? Let me see.
Okay.
All right, Rebel. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Get it together. And I was just like, that was a breaking point for me. Like, once in a while, yes, every like holidays, maybe I may let you do it, but not every time we do it. You want to switch roles completely. Like, you want to just be the full top. Sorry, ain't working for me. You gotta be equal with me on all levels. Equal.
And how about you, Conscious?
Equal.
Well, first of all, I just want to rest assured the chat. It is StreamYard. I just pulled up the stream on my phone, and this thing is really buffering horribly. Like, it's outrageously buffering. As it relates to the whole sexual positioning thing, I feel like it's not a problem for people who identify on the extreme polarity. It's like when an extreme power bottom gets with an extreme power top, they don't have those issues as it relates to transcending position. But what I will say as it relates to love, I think love in and of itself is a transcendent phenomenon. And I think that it's a beautiful thing when couples can experience the spectrum of sex and sensuality together without getting caught up in a lot of these social constructs and a lot of these stigmas around what it means for a man to be in a submissive position. You have women who want to eat the cakes of their man. Their man may feel like that's a very effeminate thing. He may not want to do that. Even if he's interested in doing it, he may let the idea of being perceived as gay slow him down. One of the things that I do like about the European community, and there aren't a lot of things that I do like about the European community, but one of the things that I do is I feel like as it relates to the way their relationships seem to be more progressive. Like if you look on Pub, and I am a porn connoisseur, if you look on Pornhub, you know, and you look at the pegging category, there are lots of white men who are interested in being pegged by their woman, and there are lots of white women
who like to peg.
Those things don't impact the power dynamic in the relationship. Those things don't impact who wears the pants in their relationship. The order of the home and the kingdom is still able to be what it is. And I do think that there is something to embrace about that, because I think the true nature of really being in love is really truly submitting to each other and transcending the ego in all aspects. So sexual position, it's not a problem. You know, just get in where you fit in at. Some of us can fit into any kind of a situation, and yeah, my time is up. I know.
Yeah, it is. All right. All right, King Payne, your thoughts?
Okay, on period.
Right,
So for me, I like I like a strict top that only bottoms for me. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. I like a strict top that only bottoms for me. But honestly, I don't really have that problem a lot with the sexual position. I normally have a problem with my dominant personality and and just not being so submissive. Like I like aggressive men and stuff like that, but I'm not very submissive. So I normally run into problems in that area. Because you know how men are. They like to control you, like to be in control, and like to be acting all crazy and doing stuff. And I don't like all that weird energy around me. Period. So sometimes I'll be having little attitudes and stuff like that, and maybe have to pull themselves together. Okay, on period, because I don't like all of that. You know what I'm saying? Chauvinistic stuff. They trying to show off and impress people and stuff. You don't got to do all that around me. Just be yourself. Okay, on period. I like genuine people. I don't like people that put on acts and shows and you know what I'm saying, and to act funny or different around their friends. So that's normally where I run into like issues with men. You know what I'm saying? I don't like men that's gonna treat you different in front of their friends. Okay, all of a sudden they go for buying your lunch till they homie come around. They buy everybody food except for yours. Like you making it look more obvious. You didn't buy all these fools lunch and you didn't buy my stuff. You normally buy my food, but you ain't buying it today. Why? And then they want you to sit in the back seat all of a sudden when they homies come around, like, like, nah, okay, never. I'm not getting in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got you.
That's normally what. Yeah, that's how them DL trade me, and that's how they be acting.
But that's what you like. That's what you go for.
No, you can't accept that. I don't
that's what you like, though, sir.
No, I like those type of men. I like masculine men, but I don't accept that type of behavior. It's all about what you accept.
But
men only do what you allow them to do. You know what I'm saying? If you let them know that you're not gonna be acting like that, you're not gonna be treating me any type of way up front, or address it when the situation occurs. You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying. You're not gonna have nothing to worry about. But if you let that go on, they only do what you allow them to do. They're gonna treat you however you will, whatever you put up with.
Gotcha.
You give them an inch, these men will take a mile. All of them. Men are all the same.
All right. Antonio.
And I just want to say, King Payne, I'm sure that you went well over your 2 minutes.
He did. It's just
like you don't say too much, so we get our money's worth.
Right. We're trying to, let some people just get a little extra. Antonio, please answer.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to piggyback off Conscious. I think that it's more so sex in itself, like back to what we were saying, as you get older, it transcends just physical, regardless of what position you are. Honestly, you two can sit there and jack off together, and that would be the most mind-blowing thing that you ever do in your life. You can do Friday. I'm sorry, I'm going down the sex tunnel. But anyway.
No, I mean, it's for whatever. Go ahead.
There's a lot of different things you can do. So I've seen, because again, I'm a Pornhub connoisseur as well. So I've seen, 2 tops, and they do different things with just each other, and they're quite happy. And I've seen 2 bottoms, and they'll get a double-sided, and they'll just get it rocking. So
double-sided, yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. It's just it can be done. And a lot of people do put a lot of focus on those labels, and they pretty much are cutting themselves short. And then they're sitting there saying, well, why can't I find a good man? Well, you did. There was one there, but because they weren't willing to bend it over when you wanted them to, you didn't want to be with them. So I feel as though a lot of people are just cutting themselves short. They're not opening themselves up to different opportunities. Just because you two both like the same thing doesn't mean that you two can't be together. And as Jay Wilson said, compromises can be made so that way everybody can be happy. And there we go.
Okay. And how about you, Rebel?
I think that a lot of times, like when I first came out, there was a certain type of gay people that I was around, and I guess they were more so, they used to go after trade. And why the hell are they going after this particular type of guy that's just them? They're always going to be second to these trade, because trade life is living with a woman. If they're trade, a lot of times they're not out with their sexuality, and you're a little secret. But I said, and they used to be like, oh, babe, I'm a lady. You know, you better not use your piece. And I used to be kind of trying to be like them and say, okay, well, I'm going to be one way and not. But then I thought about saying, hold up, I'm a man. I still have man equipment. I like sex. When I'm in a relationship, I was with someone, child, he was like, at first he was telling me he was a strict top, and I'm versatile, and he was like wanting to have sex like 6 and 7 times a day. And I was like, no, you're not gonna have me licking on a Lay's saltine crack. No, because you want to keep having sex like that. I'm gonna be making myself go without. No, I'm not doing that. So of course he had to conform, because listen, I'm going to work as well. So you're going to have to conform. We are both men. Right. I like men. You can be a little femme, you can be masculine, but be a gay man. I didn't want anyone that was going to limit me, because me liking sex, I want someone that don't have all those inhibitions. You know, I want them to be able to experiment and try new things, because just doing one thing all the time, that gets boring after a while.
Right. Very true.
And I think you limit yourself. These people that were like, I only want the top. I'm a lady, baby. I'm pure, you know, all of this, and they're still single because they're a top. I always tell gay men, your top is always someone else's bottom.
Yeah, that is very true. That is true. At some point, in some way in life.
They are bottom.
That's now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I hear everybody, and like, again, it could take bits and pieces from everyone, and definitely say that, yes, I think that a relationship, like Conscious was saying, should transcend into something different. I think that if there's one that's a top, even in a heterosexual relationship, if you and your husband have been doing it the same way for umpteen years, you should try something new. You should try something different to enhance and change, you know, kind of what's going on in the bedroom. Because if you don't, somebody else will.
Who wants to eat the same meal every day for 20 years?
Right, exactly. So it's like, if you don't, somebody else will. And then you trying to figure out why that person done creeped out or stepped out on the whatever. It's because whatever they were looking for, you weren't willing to do.
It's because they're an unfaithful bastard. I'm going back on mute.
Well, I mean, that's possible too. That's possible.
Sometimes you just want to get a prosthetic leg and a head of lettuce and some soy sauce and just go for it.
You know what? That's way too much. All right. So now we have gone to the craft section. Now, in the craft section, this is why I chose this title. Someone had left a comment in last week's gentleman's panel and asked how, you know, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically, how can Jay Wilson sit there as a Christian man and a minister amongst someone who is proclaimed to be a Wiccan, wizard, witch, you choose to, you know, declare yourself? So then my question was, do you or have you had a conflict with faith when interacting with someone who is openly practicing like witchcraft, tarot cards, because I know a lot of churches, talk bad against that, candle magic, etc. And I'll start with official King Payne.
How did I know you was gonna start with me?
Because you like the church.
Okay, I'm here. Right. For my friends that do that, because I do have friends that practice and dibble and dabble and do all that stuff. I tell them all. I said I don't want to be nowhere around when you're doing it. Don't try to include me. Don't invite me. Don't do no reads on me. You know what I'm saying? Don't pull me up. Don't pocket none of my hair follicles. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to do me. You know what I'm saying? Do you? I just always beware of all of that stuff. My grandma told me at a young age, stay away from that stuff. Curses, spells, all that stuff is real. And sometimes you can open a door that you're not able to shut. So I just stay away from all of that because I'm not trying to open no doors that I don't have no keys to. Okay, on period.
Right.
And that's all.
Okay. How about you, Conscious, being the person of the hour?
Being a residential witch, I mean, it's okay. But for one, I think I kind of diagnosed the issue with the stream. Captivating Christian is on a $35 limited Boost Mobile plan, and his stream.
Well, first of all, Captivating Christian ain't on no Boost. First of all, Captivating Christian ain't on no Boost nothing.
So you gotta use your internet.
So you need to get it together.
When you got
internet contest and the bill is paid. I can't help your phone. I can't help your phone.
I only got 2 measly
I can't help your phone. The South Carolina is where you are. Get out the woods and come to the city.
You need to plug in so that we can stop all this buffering, sugar.
You can get reception. Your minutes are going.
Right, I'm reclaiming my time. As soon as you're going, as soon as you hush, I can reclaim.
You're not maximum. No time to reclaim.
As soon as you hush.
Now,
are we done?
Get to it. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Now, witchcraft.
You got a minute.
Let's talk about it. It's a lot of pussy assholes who just don't have the faith that it takes to actually be around other people of other spirituality. So what I think I want a lot of believers to do is realize that you're not covered in the blood. You're covered in red Kool-Aid, which is why people like me can touch you if need to be touched, okay? Now, I had some drama that happened a few months ago, and I ain't going to get into no details, but there's a certain blogger who I love, but his bird started dying. And he accused me of killing his pet birds. Now, at that time, I was sending warning shots because this particular blogger was saying that, he's covered in the blood, honey, and he got up here spitting into the microphone about, God and Jesus and quoting verses. And I'm just like, you do realize knowing the scriptures and quoting the scriptures have no power in your life unless you're living the scriptures, okay? And when you're not living them, then you have everything to worry about. So I just wanted to reach out and touch him like an angel just to let him know that your shields and your defenses are down, honey. Okay, so personally, I've always been very open-minded to other people's cultures. I think that they're very fascinating. I think there's a lot to learn. But I think that if my neighborhood wanted to resurrect a temple of Satan next to me, why am I bothered? I know what my Lord and Savior provides. I know where I am on the spectrum of spirituality. So people should do whatever they want to do. Just make sure you get your blood up. Get your Jesus up, okay? Because I got mine up. I'm on mute.
Okay. Rebel, how about you?
I'm a spiritual agnostic person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't adhere to any religious doctrine because I dated someone that was a strict Christian person, and he was mentally screwed because he had this self-hate about himself, and he always prayed. It's like people don't understand. I don't feel who I am. Don't tell me, well, we love all sinners. God. Listen, you feel that way. I don't feel who I am as a sin. Who I am is who I was meant to be. Right. And just because you feel your religious doctrine you follow, because the Klan was founded in the Christian faith, if we want to keep it real. People were enslaved by other people that were Christians. So you could be a Wiccan, you could be whatever, long as if you're not sacrificing my dog, or I come in and you got a chicken laid up and it's not fried and sitting up in some greens and potatoes, then I don't care what your religious belief is, long as it's a positive belief, because the world is made up of a lot of different groups of people. If you're Hindu, Buddhist, you can be just Muslim. Long as you're a person that's a positive and you believe in something, have some direction, and I'm spiritual agnostic because I do question a lot of things. You're not going to tell me a snake was talking to somebody in a tree and I believe it, because I'm going to say you're batshit, you're bat crazy. So, I think that I could date a person that has a different belief system. Long as you're a positive person,
right?
Your aura. That's it for me.
All right, I got you. How about you, Yamik?
I have never come in contact with anyone who's trying to judge me for what I do, because I am conscious. I practice, spirituality. I don't follow any religion. I burn my sage. I'm a crystal educator. I read tarot. I read oracle cards. And people have called me, stupid things like, "Oh, you're Harry Potter," or "You're a witch," or "You're a devil worshiper." And I mean, like F you. Most people that say that to me don't even know about their own religion. Don't even read up and study their own religion to the depths of their religion. So how you come to me question my thing when you still worship a white Jesus? So you need to worry about that. Okay, and then stop judging me for what I do, because I'm good. I'm blessed, and highly favored, and protected. So, and most of the people that are judging someone who's studies spirituality are so caught up on someone who studies, alternative method. Their life is in shambles, and I'm good.
But
so worry about you and your white Jesus, and I'll worry about me and my spirituality. And how about that? And I'll be a warlock, a witch, a devil worshiper. I do whatever you want me to be. I'll be. I'm good. And covered. Not in blood, but I'm covered.
Right. I got you. And how about you, Antonio?
I, of course, probably like most of us, grew up as a Christian, but as I got older, I realized that there are a lot of things in the Christian faith that I do not agree with. More so the people who practice it, the same people who quote, "Jesus said, love thy neighbor, you want to shun me for being gay." That's not love. I think it's odd that a lot of Christians feel as though it's their job to tell me that I'm sinning. No. Jesus said, love thy neighbor. Did he or did he not? No need to agree, no need to disagree, but it was said. So for you to follow someone who practices love, yet you constantly want to point a finger at somebody else because they're living a different life than you, it's a bit weird to me. So that made me step a bit back. And at this point in my life, at 29, I wake up every morning and try to be the best person I can be. Do I make mistakes? Yes, I make mistakes. And it's my choice to look back at those mistakes and say, I'm going to do better tomorrow. And that's honestly how I live my life at this point. I'm not perfect. I understand I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to live as best as I can, learning every day going forward. I've never really interacted with people who were into Wiccan things. So, I mean, Conscious and Yamik, thank you for, even though we've only had limited interactions, I'm still learning from you. And I'm more than open to learning about it, because you can't disagree with something if you don't learn about it first. I just think that's extremely ignorant to say, oh, that's my people red. Just because it's blue, I'm gonna say it's not good. I think that's extremely ignorant, and I can't wrap my mind around that. I'm a person that tries to be open-minded. It's like, you know what, it may seem a bit different to me, but please, let's spend 10 minutes. Just tell me about it, and I'll just listen. And then, you know what, after 10 minutes, if it doesn't sit right with me, it doesn't sit right with me, and I don't even have to tell you. You know what? Thank you for letting me know.
Right. And Jay Wilson?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I don't have problems with any other person's religion, but I'm a Christian in context. That's why I thank God that I went to seminary so I don't get wrapped up and caught up in this foolishness. I know Jesus is not white. I know that Christianity is not white man's religion.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people have hijacked it like Greeks and Romans hijacked everything else.
Right.
So I'm aware. However, as a world religion teacher and as a person who have friends of many faiths, it doesn't intimidate or bother me how people worship. This is America, and people are able to pursue their liberty, happiness, and and as long as they're doing that, that's their right. And if I infringe on someone else's religion, then I infringe on mine. So I let people be, even if they don't understand Christianity, it's fine. But I will not be ignorant of what other people do. I think that's a bad thing. And I think we have to be wise. And just like Yamik said, it's sad that you want to tell somebody about what they do, but you don't spend enough time or put the effort in to really know what you believe in. And you take folks' word and you don't do the intense study.
Right.
I think, so to answer your question again, I don't have an issue. Conscious TV and I also did an interview dealing with this subject.
Right.
And, it seemed like other people were bothered about us having an interview. But we got through it and we were respectful and tactful. And believe it or not, Conscious TV is very versed in the word. And it bothers people because he's versed in the word. I am versed. I guess LGBTQ plus people are not supposed to be versed. And it really bothers people when you know the word and you can't be controlled or manipulated by it.
No, go ahead. Continue your thought.
Oh, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to you guys. I wanted to say, as my earliest connecting with religion, I had a great grandmother that was so Christian and so devoutly. She was going to church 5-6 days a week. I had an uncle, my great uncle, which was her brother. He was gay, and he started transitioning. Her son. And she disowned him. She would call him a thing. He had to go live with other family members. And when I got word of that, this person, for her to be a Christian, she was so unloving. We didn't get love from her. It was like this mean disciplinarian. And I said, I don't want to be a person like that. I'm not going to follow a religion and become a slave to something that's controlling my every thought, because I look at people that adhere to those types of doctrines as slaves, because you're being taught something that someone else taught you, that Mima and Paw them taught you, and they probably had an 8th grade education. But this, when she acted like that, and she was like, when she would see little things in me, she'd be like, "It's something wrong with that boy. It's something that," and I used to be like, "Oh God." So I withdrew into myself and didn't go around her, because she would always say I looked like my uncle. And I think she saw something in me, but this Christian woman didn't show any love that's supposed to come with Christianity.
But Rubble, that's the whole thing. And you're right. And you hit the nail on the head, because that's how people learn. And that's why you have to be a transformative learner, because when you're willing to step out and do something different, you don't hang around those people. I don't do spooky deep Christian. As soon as I ask you how you doing and you tell me you blessed and highly favored and give me the whole spiel, I don't even want to be bothered with you, because right then and there, it means you messy. I don't even want to be bothered with you. So I can understand, because I grew up with people like that, and it's like, if Jesus were to come to this church, he would be refused and probably kicked out. And so, it's about transformative learning. And I hope people grow. And this is why I think that we need people who are well-versed, not only in the spiritual, spooky, deep things of the Bible, but really, as I was telling Conscious last night, people who have a balance of having the practical and the clinical and the theory. It's not enough to be so deep and spooky deep, but yet you don't really know the context. And it's deep when you got so much academic, but you don't have any zeal. I think it has to be a balance.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Before I go on to the next one, 2 things. I want to say thanks to Heidi Fly for sharing this panel out. And secondly, I came across something that I just want to make very clear, so we don't have to have this discussion again. And if I'm happen to be in somebody's bushes or anybody's bushes, I don't want to hear this. We understand, to be very clear, we understand that a large majority of our audience are women, but we are not women. So it would be disrespectful to be talking about women's issues, and we are not women. So we do understand that as men, we owe women a great deal, and you do a lot for our community, voting. It can go on. The gamut can go on, but we are not women. So it's almost like listening in on two friends that you have, listening to their conversation and kind of getting to know what they think about certain things and situations. So I don't understand what that's all about. So,
you know what, though, Captivating Christian? This is my question. Why don't women support other women? And we had that question asked.
No, that's the thing, Jay Wilson. It wasn't a woman. It wasn't a woman who said it. It was a man who said it. Who was like, well, I don't understand how they're talking about. There's women that following, that's watching, and they talk nothing about women. I'm like, first of all, we always talk about women, empowering them, kind of going through the social gamut of, hey, listen, this is what, but of course we have to come of it in a different perspective because we're not women. So, you have to come of it differently to where in which you're sitting there like, well, if I was
for that person, start your platform and get a panel with men and invite all the women you want. But when we had this brainchild in mind, it was having a conversation with friends, and that's what we do. So I always tell people, if you feel a certain way, then empower yourself to start something that you can be proud of, and that will involve women.
I'm just saying, I just found it to be. Anybody have anything to say on that before I go to the next question? I don't want to be close to that, but I just thought it was a bit much. Like, we're not.
I just want to make mention that the topics that come up on the gentleman's panel transcend a lot of the low-hanging fruit issues and low-hanging fruit topics that some of these people who talk a lot of crap choose to use their platform for. I do understand that a lot of these people were raised up on oodles and noodles, and maybe that has stunted their learning development. Maybe, the cerebral cortex is a little shrunken. Maybe one too many people didn't have the resources growing up and got dropped on their heads. Maybe they were unwanted children. So I understand, that actually listening to healthy conversation feels very weird, boring, and ineffective to very dysfunctional people. If you specialize in a lot of chaos in your life, and then you're finally in a healthy relationship, you're gonna mess
it up. Yeah, you're gonna fuck it up because you don't know what to do. Yeah, pretty much. Definitely, good point. Anybody else? I don't want to cut nobody else.
I just want to say that when you're touched by the Holy Ghost, when the Spirit is over you, you know what I'm saying? You could tap dance. The Bible says you could tap dance through voodoo and witchcraft and all of that stuff. So my word to everyone out there, if you're scared, read the word and get to know the Lord and Savior for yourself. Okay? Don't take our word for it. Get out there, grab a Bible, open it up, and read it.
Good.
I wanted to say this too. Like, people forget, like, people judge people who are spiritual, but you forget, like, on your birthday every year you blow out candles, make a wish. That's witchcraft. You go to the altar at church and you drink the blood of Christ. That's witchcraft to me. You do all these things that you're judging us for, but you're doing it every day of your life since you were born. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, good point.
You know what? Just let people be who they are, and you be who you are. And Conscious TV. First of all, no one. Rebel has his belief. Official King Payne has his belief. I have mine. Captivating has his, and I'm sure Antonio and Yamik has his. And guess what? That wasn't a precursor for them to come on here. Right. Are you intelligent? Can you phrase a sentence together and put it together? Are you a logical thinker? Can you interact and be a team player and ask questions? That's the real deal. Not if you go to church every Sunday and, you know, have you been saved and did you speak in tongue and all of that stuff? No, none of that stuff. Because guess what? We are not a monolithic people and we have different perspectives, and you can learn from people who don't think like you. And that's the problem. Folk always want people who think like you. That's why we have different ages, different people from different regions. The only thing is we wanted to have something for men. And we might bring a white man on one day so we can have that conversation.
Right. Very true. Okay. So the last part of this theming segment is country. So what were your thoughts of course, more stuff has come out today about the president. And those of you, if you don't know, basically that he knew about the pandemic and the destruction it could cause, but he downplayed it to the people, but he knew how serious it was and the amount of deaths that it could cause. He knew ahead of time. But my question to you all was, what were your views on the president at that time? It was the latest thing about him talking about men and women who have served in the armed military and have lost their lives. He considered them to be losers, and you know, he thought it was dumb for them to even consider that. What were your thoughts? Did you believe he said it? Yes, no, and anything of that nature? And I'll start with Yamik being first.
I believe he did say it because he's so freaking reckless with his mouth. Such a horrible person. I believe he did say it. I believe he backpedals. We're not used to him backpedaling with everything that he says,
right,
and not telling the truth. I just feel like he says things to get people riled up. He's a gaslighter. He's the ultimate gaslighter. People know what gaslighting means. You say something and you, oh, I didn't say that. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, why are you so mad? He's the ultimate gaslighter. Trump is the ultimate gaslighter. He knows exactly what he's doing. Even when he went to Kenosha, he didn't visit Jacob Blake's family. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that would make people mad. He did it on purpose. You think he doesn't know what he's doing? He knows what he's doing. He's almost 4 years deep. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Right. I get that. Official King Payne, how about you?
Honestly, I don't think that he said it. It's just so disgusting. Like, it's just so low hanging. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys talk about. But he said that they're saying that he said they're losers and suckers. I don't believe that he said it because he's so American. He's so red, white, and blue. And
cut it out.
You know,
I guess you didn't read his niece's book. Then I guess you didn't read his niece's book. Is that what it is?
It's just, you know, like, that's just so the fallen soldiers of America. Like, to call them losers and suckers, like that's like. Yeah. Well, that's crazy. And he's the president of the United States of America.
I'll send you an audible copy of Mary Trump's book, and maybe you can better understand.
I don't believe that anyone would say something like that.
That's exactly how his father. That's exactly how his father raised them. So I'm not surprised.
The fallen soldiers of the United States are losers and suckers.
Well, you know, his brother, who died of alcoholism, joined the Air Force, and his father pretty much Fred Trump disowned him because he felt like joining the army was the worst thing you could do. He felt that it was disgraceful and it was a waste of time. So that's where Donald Trump got that from, just to be clear. Conscious, how about you? Your thoughts?
Well, like King Payne, initially the statement was so shocking and polarizing that even someone with the character of Trump, I struggled to really believe that even he could say something so horrendous and shameful. But then when I thought about how narcissistic Trump is, and then also about how toxic, masculine identifying he is, a lot of how he validates himself as a man is by winning. So I could also then see how he would definitely look at fallen soldiers as losers because they weren't strong enough, they weren't vital enough, they weren't efficient enough at their job. And so then it started to make sense to me that even Trump, which I'm not surprised at anything that comes out his mouth, could, you know, press the gas a little further and say some really ridiculous things like this. Now, there was audio release where Trump, you know, it was completely aware of Corona back in February. He already knew that this virus was very airborne, but his public persuasion was to play down this virus and to act like Americans had nothing to deal with. Beyond Trump being an issue, for me, the entire system itself is a actual issue.
Right.
We're talking about police reform and social reform. There needs to be a lot of conversation around government reform as well, because the reason why we're failing to see a morality within the government is because we're trying to make a moral appeal to a system that doesn't even have a moral conscience. So I feel like we're going to keep hanging ourselves again and again and again. And even though I don't really believe in voting, I believe that presidents are selected, not elected. I am going to encourage voting because this is currently the system that we have. And hopefully individuals we get in and superhero it out. I know that the bell is ringing, so go ahead and pass the torch in the mic, honey.
All right. Thank you. Jay Wilson, your thoughts?
You know, this is why people need to sit on the couch and do some transformative learning, because when you don't deal with your childhood trauma, it manifests itself in adult life. And this is what we're seeing with Trump, and what his dad did to him, he's done to his kids, and it's a cycle. You know, he does so much now. It's just to throw people off. It's like, okay, what is he going to do next? And it has desensitized us so much that, you know what, it's like, okay, what is he going to do next? Things that would shock us now, it's like, wow, okay, he's going to do something again. The big deal is, what are these Republicans going to do? He's hijacked their party, and they have been silent. I have not heard from them. And the coronavirus thing is bad. The tape just showed that he would lie, and he knew, and it's all to protect himself in the stock market. People are in Louisiana and Texas and still don't have electric. And now they're kicking people out of hotels in Houston, and they can't even reach FEMA. And what is he's not really helped those people in Iowa. And I have not heard him once mention anything about those fires in Oregon, Washington, and California.
Because they ain't vote for him. That's why.
And you know what? I am tired. And this is one thing I want to get people, and I'm done. But he always tries to invoke fear, talking about Portland, Chicago, and Democratic cities. But again, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, Texas, and Florida are all Republican-led governors. And when you look at the highest child mortality rate, it's in Mississippi. When you look at the poverty rate, it's in Mississippi. So I want him to take that same energy that he's taking with those Democratic mayors whose cities are doing pretty well besides the protests. And I want him to apply that to these Republican-led states that are falling way behind. And last thing, if it weren't for these Democratic states, some of these Republican states wouldn't get the money that they're getting. Besides Texas,
that is true.
Besides Texas, these blue states are paying for a lot of these red states.
Right, that is true. How about you, Rebel? Your thoughts?
I think everyone knows he's a narcissist. He's a man-child. His patriotism is a performance, not unlike his performances on The Apprentice. So this man has said disrespectful things about John McCain, that he wasn't a war hero because he was captured. He's made fun of disabled reporters. So there's no low he's not willing to go to. He's a snake. His belly is rubbing the ground. He's a person that it's about him. He's not going to. This is the man that got his doctor to write up a doctor's statement about having bone spurs so he couldn't serve.
Right.
So I'm not surprised at anything that he says, because I don't put anything. He'll go to any extent. He will reach as low as he can go. And so I believe everything that they say. A man that's grab women by the peas and all the stuff he said. Do you not think he wouldn't say that?
Right. Very true. Very true. And how about you, Antonio?
Okay, so all these people who got upset for athletes kneeling for the national anthem because they felt it was disrespectful to the armed forces, where are they now? That's my number one question.
Right.
I'm serious. You,
I know.
What is his name? Colin Kaepernick, I believe. Right. They dragged him through the trenches. And now this great white hope is pretty much saying that those same people that you yelled at the athletes for, he's saying that they're losers, and you're fine with it. Oh no, he said it, so it's okay. I guess they are losers. Yeah, whatever. We wasted our time. Like it baffles me. And like how Jay Wilson said, how he doesn't pay attention to the blue states. I've realized that Trump's followers are colorblind to the bullshit. If it's not happening to them, it's not happening. Simple as that. If it's not little Timmy, little Johnny, the one who drowns cats, it's not happening, period. So for him to say things like that about the Republican part, for him to say things like that about people in the armed forces just makes no sense to me, especially when the Republican Party, for one, is so heavily into the Christianity and so heavily nationalist. They're so hell-bent on Jesus, and they're so hell-bent on the military forces, and they're so hell-bent on it's supposed to be like this, and this is this, and this is right, and all this. And then you have this man who you chose to be your leader, and he's literally spitting on every single thing. This man fired at protesters to get them to move so he can do a photo op with a Bible that he held upside down.
That part.
But again, this is normal code. I'm sorry, I'm done. This is my first ride. I can't.
You know what? Really quickly, and the people who are railing for him are the ones who are suffering under him. Donald Trump doesn't care about those poor people. He has done more damage to them than anyone. His whole concern is the 1%. He may talk like you. He may act like you with the limited vocabulary some people may have, but he's not you in the sense. And the sad part about Donald Trump is he was that boy from Brooklyn and Queens who wanted to get into the Manhattan real estate, and he was always on the outside looking in. He has always been snubbed by the elite, and it bothers him so badly. And even as president, he still doesn't have the respect that he thinks he should have.
Right. No, I totally agree. But I also think that it's color too, because of course it's a race thing. So it doesn't matter that he's not, he doesn't really promote their interests, because at the end of the day, what's promoted is, well, at least you're not them. You know, it's always the difference between them and us. So at this time, gentlemen, while I have the questions ready, because there are questions, and get ready for this game as well as the audience. Real quick, because we don't have much time, so we're just going to run through some of it. It's a I have or I have never. So get prepared to either pick a one or the other, as well as the audience as well. But while you guys do that, gentlemen, please put your cash apps in the chat. So, you know, if anybody wants to give a donation, they are welcome to. No big deal here. So again, the game is I have or I have never.
Just right in there.
Okay. And if anybody else has one, Yamik, if you have one, you can put it in. Antonio, if you have
how do I do it?
Actually, I'm new to this. I don't have a chat box for the comments. I only have one for the private.
go on your cell phone and go.
Phoebe Fee, please put mine in. Thank you, Phoebe Fee. I appreciate it.
Or either give it or put it in the private chat. And
No, mine is $ Yamik.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So everybody ready? Can I get a one in the chat? Let the chat know that you are ready to play. And this will be real quick. It's just to be a few. It's not going to be all of them that I drawn up, because We don't have time. Okay, I got it.
Okay. I'm trying to.
All right. So first question. Thank you for everybody. First question is: have you had multiple relationships with anyone? Your answer would be I have or I have never.
Can
What
I
does that
ask-
mean?
What does that mean?
Multiple
More
relationships.
than once?
Multiple relationships meaning that you were talking, like you had a relationship with somebody and then you had a relationship with somebody else. They just didn't know about it.
I have.
I have never.
Okay. Anybody else?
Never.
Okay. Jay Wilson, you kind of quiet.
Hmm.
Oh
yeah, when I was a flight attendant, I have.
Okay.
Yes, for that
Flight
mile.
attendants. And flight attendants.
All right.
I have
you-
never.
Okay.
You have never what?
Had multiple relationships. Okay.
And
Now, have you had a threesome? And this is, anybody can answer. Have you had a threesome?
yes.
Yeah,
I have or I have not.
Not maybe.
Not maybe. Maybe it's not an option. It's I have or I have not.
I have had a threesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have as well.
I
But
have.
I didn't hear. You have.
Was
Okay.
that Rebel?
I have.
Was it recent? Was it recent?
I'm not gonna give a time frame, but yes, I have.
You have not been having no in this COVID.
I mean,
It's fine. Everybody had on a mask.
okay.
Read that way.
Have you ever
I had like a foursome. I never had a threesome.
Oh, okay. Excuse
I had
me.
a foursome with two women. It was two women and two of us guys.
Okay.
I like that.
And, it got
I like
really
that.
freaky. It got really freaky.
I can
Okay, let me
imagine.
just say that. But I've never had a
That's a
threesome.
Like for everybody. Got to clean up all that mess.
Okay.
Have you ever been attracted to a man or a woman in uniform?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have.
Everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
Um,
I like the nails conscious.
You said, huh?
I like conscious's nails.
Oh,
Thank you.
have you ever been? What is it? I don't know if I was playing around with y'all. Have you gotten turned on by, in the words of Jay Wilson, lesbiterian porn?
Yes.
I have never.
By
No.
what?
Lesbian.
Oh no.
Maybe it's not an
Maybe.
answer. It's yes or no.
I have.
It's yes you have or yes you have not. Or have you
No. No lesbian porn for me.
No.
I have. It's kind of hot. It's kinda hot. Have you ever gone out commando? I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have gone with no one.
Yeah.
Commando.
Conscious, yeah, I will answer yes for Conscious. He's come out with no draws. Just saying. I know.
How about you, King Payne?
No, yeah, I've gone commando before. Okay.
He said, yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, so have anyone ever checked out a guy's or girl's butt before?
Oh,
All the time. Everybody booty. I look at everybody booty. I'm looking at
me
that.
too.
I look
Me
at
too.
booty.
Never?
Beauty.
I never. Oh, you lying, Conscious.
Conscious is funny. Conscious is
All right. So, have you ever dated more than one person at the same time?
You asked that already.
We define dating
No, it
first.
was different. It was a relationship.
Right.
First. The relationship was the first one. This one is dating. So
Girl,
dating,
it's
like,
not the same thing.
no, it's not. So a relationship is actually you in a relationship. Like you are official. You are official with two people at the same time. Dating is, somebody you talking to, and then you go out on a couple dates.
Yeah, I have.
And you go out on a couple dates with them because you haven't made up your mind on who you want to pick.
I have.
You know you have.
Yeah. I'm dating right now.
Right. You are covertly dating. Okay. How about anybody else?
I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Is it another listener?
I'm pure.
Not your business.
Oh, whatever.
I'm pure.
Oh, okay.
Here's that red cap on your head.
Have you ever
That's
lied?
the root chakra. Sexual.
Right. Have you ever lied to someone in a relationship? Have you ever lied to someone to tell them that you're in a relationship so they would stop pursuing you?
Yes.
I have.
I just tell them, get the hell away from me. Like,
My man don't like that. Don't do that.
No, I haven't done that.
Okay.
That's rude.
My gun.
If you don't like somebody, you should just tell them you don't like them. I have no problem with telling you, like, girl, it's not
But
going
that
work.
could be just as rude because how you like, I know you're not my type. I'll be like, I'm with someone.
Okay. So has anyone ever fooled around outside?
Oh,
Yes.
you mean in public or outside sex? Like,
Yeah, outside.
Outside of the car or just outside?
I'm scared.
Outside of the car. Outside.
Outside sex. I'm scared.
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
The car.
wait a minute. You from New York? Lord, they have sex in the subway. Please don't
Right.
I'm scared.
But I am too.
go.
Thank you, Christian. I'm scared.
I'd be scared too.
My thing will get hard.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to get a ticket or something. That's crazy.
It is harder to get erect when you're outside. It is harder, but it happens. You can get erect outside.
I can't.
Willing.
I think it'll be like, woo. I can't get hard.
Somebody starts sucking on it, you will get erect. It don't matter where you are.
The right person sucking on it, but not anybody. Okay.
Well, that's why you have your own yard.
Anyway, has anyone
more
ever?
cousins.
What'd you say?
Y'all are cousins.
You know what? Cut it out. Has anyone ever walked in on their parents?
No.
Ew.
No.
I have.
I have.
I was a kid though, a long time ago.
Yeah. Right. Well, no, I was.
I
older.
thought they were fighting. I didn't know what I was seeing.
No, I.
Hell no.
I
Not
have.
fighting, Antonio.
Let's see. Have you? No, that's kind of. No, I don't think that happened. I said that one. Ooh, have you ever picked up the phone thinking it was somebody else, but it was the wrong person on the phone? Like you picked it up just automatically thinking that it was the person you wanted to speak to, and it was somebody else.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Not since I've had a cell phone. No.
That
No?
happened to me with someone with a really common name like Michael.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, this is Michael. You know what? I've been thinking about you. I was like, hey, I'm just chilling. Can I come over? Yeah, you can come over. I'm chilling.
Can I come
When I went to the door, I was like, oh, damn.
Not that Michael. Wrong Michael.
Have you ever answered the phone during sex, though?
Yes.
Oh,
I have.
Have you what?
answered the phone during sex.
Does head count?
I guess it's some sort of sexual activity.
Oh, yeah, then yeah.
Yeah.
I was riding my man one time when he was on the phone with
Okay.
us.
Okay. So, last question. Two last questions. Have you ever tried new sex positions?
What was that?
Have you ever tried new sex positions?
Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I create one up every time. I create a new one up every time. You got to keep it new and interesting and fresh.
Okay.
I can see
It's never the same. It's never the
Have you ever caught your partner cheating on you? It could be past, present, future, whatever.
What's the question? I'm sorry.
Have you ever caught your partner cheating on you?
No, because I'll be somewhere else besides here.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I have a small little story time. When I was 18, I knocked on my man's door because he lived like a block away from me at that time. And I had went around to his bedroom window and he had his blinds open and he was jacking off with another dude in bed. But then when he realized it was me, he invited me to the threesome and I participated. So that's the threesome that.
Yes.
Yeah, so you wasn't there. Okay, so you joined in the fun. All right.
Oh, okay. That's different.
That's interesting.
Why can't he just answer the door? Why did you have to peek through the window to get in? I'm just
Right.
Because he was preoccupied.
Stalker.
And then you were preoccupied.
And then we all became preoccupied.
He always in the window. I'm here.
I was calling you wasn't answering.
Y'all went to the school of each one teach one. Each one.
Okay.
It's a thin line. It's a thin line, T.
Right.
It's a thin line of white all over that chest.
Phone giving head. Oh, somebody was giving head to him. Patricia was like, it's hard to be talking on the phone with somebody else. It's the opposite way, girl. Come on, Patricia. It's the opposite.
Didn't
I was getting head. Getting head.
He was getting some head.
I was getting some head. I don't like things in my mouth. Like,
You know what? Okay.
You got some wide jaws.
You from New York.
You know what? So, all right.
that's free, okay?
Right. So, gentlemen, it has been fun. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, it has been fun, but we have come to our time where it's time for us to say adieu to you all. And before we go, let's find out what everybody is doing for the week. And I'll start with the closest to me. That would be Jay Wilson. So what are you doing this week, Jay?
I'm going to rest this week. Like I said, I've been in the office, and it's different when you've been gone out for 3 months and then have to go back in, the drive and the traffic. So I'll rest, and then I'll do a Sunday service.
All right. And how about you, Rebel?
I was just celebrating one of my friends' birthday with her. That'd be it.
All right, cool. And how about you, King Payne? Hope you're not filing your nails, because apparently word on the street is you was filing your nails because we were so boring. So I just want to,
Is that what they said?
That's what they said now.
No, don't make it up. I start filing.
I didn't make it up. That's what was said. I'm serious.
I didn't say that. I heard it. I heard something like that, but no, that's not true. I start filing my nails when things get dusty. Just I pull out my glasses, I pull out my pieces, and you know what I'm saying? I have a whole protective kit, so if it starts getting dusty and stuff, and I feel like I need to protect myself, then you know what I'm saying? I'm over here filing, dusting, doing a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah. So I'm over here at the Lituation, keeping it lit as usual. Tomorrow is I Know You Effing Lying Friday, so y'all come through. I have special guest performances. Okay, I'm gonna be roasting and gagging. I'm not even gonna say the name. Y'all just show up. Okay, I'm not giving out no free clout. Okay, no free publicity. Y'all just show up for the festivities. Okay. On Piriana to the Pirier, I'm gonna do like some reactions. It's gonna be lit over there. It's gonna be lit. I Know You Effing Lying Friday is the littest day of the week. Right. So make sure y'all come and check it out.
All right. And how about you, Conscious?
Probably nothing much. Maybe doing some Christian witchcraft over the weekend. However,
I want you to put a spell on someone, my neighbor.
I would like to get the chat's opinion, and maybe they can vote one for yes. If you feel the gentleman's panel needs to get rid of a 2-minute talking time slot because my brain can't handle 2 minutes of outlet.
Well, first and foremost, it was only 2 minutes because of the additional guests we had. Let's be technical. Okay?
I mean, but even with the additional guests, like there were certain people who were afforded the opportunity to ad lib and to
you ad lib. First of all, you ad lib. Listen, Goldilocks. Listen, Goldilocks. You ad lib too, all right, Goldilocks.
Maybe
people would love to hear us unfold a little bit more.
You know, captivated and conscious. Y'all need to work this out in therapy.
No, we good.
Okay.
Y'all should take care of that backstage. Okay, that is not a conversation.
You know, for some people, when the lights come on, they start acting funny. So you know, you just let them go.
That's real.
You know, certain things don't show up until the lights come on.
Oh.
I don't know what things you talking about, but anyway,
things you talking about either. We just talking about things apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, Yamik, anything that you have planned? I know you do have a channel you can say.
Yes, I'll probably be uploading some videos on my channel. I have a podcast as well. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes. It's called the Soulful Elite Realness Podcast, where I discuss different things. I have 2 episodes up already, but I have a whole archive of videos on my own YouTube page at I Am Yamik, my Instagram page, I Am Yamik, and you can check that out. I'll probably be working out because I've been working out like I'm supposed to be. So I'll probably be in the gym, not in the gym because New York is kind of masky. So I'll be probably working out in my living room, my resistant bands, but I'll be busy.
Okay. And how about you, Antonio?
Not a damn thing. I'm gonna be working tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be lazy the rest of this weekend. Marinating. I'm gonna do a little house work out outside in the sun. Hopefully, sweat off 30 pounds. Okay. Beyond that, nothing.
All right. And cool. And of course, you can always catch me, but this week has been a little traumatic. But you can always catch me at the rundown for your midday news, politics and wellness, and all that good stuff. So with that, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. It has been great. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Thank you to my mods. Of course, you guys are always awesome. Just Jess, thank you for rocking it out. You did your thing. Beautiful. That is my wife on certain days. And I think today is a wife day. And if it is, of course, that's my wife. But if not, then you're my girlfriend. And it's fine.
Okay, so you're practicing polygamy now. Are you in a throuple?
It is what it is. I just, I work the system. I let the system work me. So
today.
I'm sorry. Yeah, like people are just really trying to put me through it. But anyway, thank you guys for coming through. God bless. Good night. And we're out of here.